As someone who's made a lot of should you summon videos over like 2 years, I figured I'd go ahead and tell you guys how I like to do the should you summons, and like kind of show you how you should probably do the should you summons as well, and kind of showcase like my thought process that you guys could also follow if you would like. So let's go ahead and just talk about the first and most main point of any of my should you summons, and it's my rating system, and something that I think you guys should all kind of try to use too. So the way that I like to do my rating system is I like to give every unit a point on a banner based off of two things. One, how good they are right now, and two, if you have them or not. So if we go ahead and look at this banner just straight out the gate, any unit who is usable right now and is pretty decent is a 1.0 unit. Any unit who has far away better than every other unit type of kit, they will get 2 points instead of 1. And any unit who is really, really bad and cannot be used anymore will be a 0.0. So Slug is a top 3 Dokkan Fest. He's not far and away better than everyone else, but he is still decent enough that you should want to pick up this unit. So he will get a 1.0. Same thing with the Sidemen unit. Really decent support unit, as well as having a really high defense, as well as having the dodge capability. So another 1.0. So 1, 2, then we have Piccolo and Gohan, who are just not usable anymore. They're just... They just have too many issues with them that show and make it where a run is going to be pretty hard if you run them. So we'll give them a 0. So we have 1, 2, 0. Then we have Rose, who's still usable. Maybe not as good as some of the other Dokkan Fests right now, but still usable. 3. Trunks is not usable. 0. Kale isn't usable. 0. Bojack isn't usable right now, but could be in the future. So 3 to 4. Cooler, 0. Piccolo, 0. Beerus, not usable right now, but could be in the future if we get a super easy A for him. So we have 1, 2, 3, 3 to 4, and then 3 to 5. Now, I would like to basically do like a minus system depending on if you have the unit already. So if I already have Rose Rainbowed, he's not going to matter to me, right? So you have it where if you have more than 2 dupes on the unit, you minus half a point, and if a unit is still usable but he's rainbowed, he still gets 0 points. So if I had Rose Rainbow, for example, this turns from a 3 out of 5 banner to 2 or 3 out of 5, 3 to 5 out of 10 banner to a 2 to 4 out of 10 banner, right? And that's how I like to do things, is that rating system. And while it's a little bit confusing, I will admit, I do think it is something that is makes it very easy to see if a banner is worth summoning on, right? Now, another thing that you could always add points to and add like a little bit extra is if a unit has some sort of, I guess you could say like feature on top of it, or extra incentive on top of it, like how we see with most of these monthly Dokkan Fests now, where the third unit will be a guaranteed featured SSR, right? You can give it like a half a point or a 1.0 depending on how you feel. It's up to you. I don't usually like to include that in my rating because I don't really want it to affect it too much. But yeah. And again, if we go ahead and look at another banner, just for another example, 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna give that a 0. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a 0. 4. So we have another banner with a 4 out of 10. Then we go into something like Roshi, and this unit has guaranteed featured SSR, I believe, on the third. Yeah, guaranteed featured SSR on the third multi. as well as getting, after that, it just turns into a normal banner, right? But 1, 2, I almost want to give half a point, but no. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 out of 7 banner. And again, it's like 4 to 7 on top of the discounts. Might be worth summoning, but you have to remember that Master Roshi isn't like if you pull Master Roshi, you pull Bulma, it's not gonna like help out your team too much. It's just gonna be something extra. So that's why I would have probably said you can do the discounts if you're like a really big Roshi fan, but more often than not, I would go ahead and tell you to skip on this banner. Then we go into something like the anniversaries, the worldwide celebrations, the dual Dokkan Fests, basically. These banners are more often than not something you should always summon on. And the main reason why is because if we look at it like this, we know that Beast Gohan is far and away better than the game. We know that MUI is far and away better than the game. We know that Super Saiyan Blue Evolution is far away better than the game. So we have 2, 3. Remember, 2 points because this unit is far and away better. So 2, 3, 4. That's tough. I would say 5. Yeah. Actually, no, I'm going to say 4. They don't get the point. So 2, 3, 4. No, no, no. 6, 8. No, no. So it's an 8 out of 10 banner just because of the fact that 3 of the featured units are all units who are just top tier and again, far and away better than the rest of the game. So it gives you a lot of incentive on top of that because of the fact that it's buy 3 and get 1 free. And at the time, for global at least, we got tickets on top of it. So even more so, it's a should summon. Like it just straight up, you should summon on this banner. And then if we go ahead and look at another scenario, and we'll go ahead and look at, I guess no, we're going to stop talking about the point system. We're going to talk about something else. The next point is if a unit is going to return on a better banner. Now, this happens sometime with stuff like the Golden Week units. Well, they'll always show up on the Worldwide Celebration banner, but if we go ahead and look at it like this, right? We know that Super Saiyan 3 Goku would have gotten 2 points if we're looking at it rating-wise, and he's just far and away better than the game. You know that he's going to age well because of the fact that he has 90% damage reduction in guard. You know that for a fact that in Fat Boo on the opposing banner is going to age extremely well because of the guard, the raising defense, the revival permanently up, the active skill that makes it where you are delaying the enemy's attack for 1 turn and giving that usher effect. We know that Tech Gohan was going to age pretty well because of all of the stuff in his kit as well. It makes it where, again, this is a really valuable banner to summon on, and Fat Boo is a really valuable banner to summon on just because of the fact that both the main units were very, very far and away better than the rest of the game. But when we have banners that are either slightly better because of the fact that these units are coming back, on top of the fact that there's LRs on top of it, then yeah, most of the time I will recommend you skip out on Golden Week or don't go too heavily on Golden Week, because guess what? We're going to see these units back anyways. So look at this. We have it where Broly was doing pretty good. Videl was pretty good. Super Saiyan 3 Goku was still #1 TUR at the time. Hirudegarn was probably top 5 Extreme Dokkan Fest TURs. I don't know where he would genuinely place in a TUR tier list though. Fusion Zamasu was still pretty decent as long as you're able to get the domain off. But especially on turn 1, they're still pretty good. GT Duo have kind of aged out at that point. Piccolo could still get some use, but he's mostly aged out. Cooler dead in the water. Physical Goten and Trunks easily like a 2.0 just because of the fact that their EZA made them so extremely valuable, and the performance of this unit is actually insane. Broly is a 1.0 unit. And again, we look at it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units on here are usable out of 10. I'm not even just looking at the point system that I was talking about before, which would have made this an 8 out of 10 banner. And on top of that, guess what? We have it where this is a step-up summon, where it's the first 3 multis you have to pay for, and the 4th summon is completely free. So yeah, I would have said to skip Super Saiyan 3 Goku's banner to summon on something like Broly's instead. And then the last point, and something that is going to be something you'll always summon on no matter what, is just the New Year's banners. And these banners are something that will just forever and always age pretty decently, I would say, just because they keep reformatting these steps each and every single year. And on top of that, every single time that they give us these banners, the units for that would be replaced by them would be pretty dude, I'm sorry. I'm having a really difficult time saying this. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that the units at the time of these banners getting updated will have been even better than before. So like Physical God Goku will be replaced by Tech Vegeta, for example. And Tech Vegeta is still really, really decent and would give this banner a lot of value when we look at it like this, right? This is how the banner worked last year, where on step 5 you would pay 50 stones and you would get not only a side banner unit guaranteed, but you would also get a 1 out of 4 chance of getting the Dokkan Fest that you would want. So Tech World Tournament Goku was still decent, Physical God Goku was still decent, Kale was eh, and Super Saiyan Duo were eh. But go ahead and look at it like this. Tech World Tournament Goku is going to be replaced by... Is it AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku? I think it is. I think this banner is getting AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? It's either AGL Super Saiyan 3 or STR Super Saiyan 3. I don't remember which one this was for. April. Yeah, that doesn't help. Anyways. Oh wait, hold on. I could actually just see like this. Then yeah, no, that was AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We didn't get STR Super Saiyan 3 at the same time. So yeah, that would have been AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? So it'd be AGL Super Saiyan 3 and Tech Vegeta on this banner. That would, again, make it where this step alone is worth more than summoning on, just because you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting a unit who is very, very good and still very, very usable. And that's not even talking about the fact that you get a lot of these other units guaranteed with each step. Like you get a super class, extreme class leader depending on which banner you summon on for the first one. In Future Gohan, who is still really decent at the time. Tech Trunks, who was okay at the time. AGL Gogeta, who was okay at the time. Like you have I would say like a 2 or 3 out of 5 chance of getting a good unit. A lot of easy A food here, because Tech Super Saiyan 3 Goku was still upcoming on his easy A. I don't remember if either of the other ones were. Hachan, who was still a really decent side-brainer unit. Yajirobe, who was still a really decent side-brainer unit. STR Piccolo, who is still really dominant at the time. Physical Kid Goku, who is still pretty decent. Inti who is okay. You know, STR Bulma, who is still not even aged out even now. Just because of the fact that SSJ Trio have helped this unit out a lot, right? But it does show, like, yeah, these units are going to age pretty well. And then again, we already talked about this. Now, I would say for the extreme side, it's definitely not the same. Like, just looking at it like that, right? Or looking at it like this, like, none of these units are really usable except for, like, 2 or 3. We knew that Angel Zamasu had an easy A and he was pretty decent. But Junior was still really, really good. And then that's it. There was nothing else at the time that was good. Like, we just have future easy A food. But yeah, the super class on it, like I said, on the other hand, is still really nice. And like one final point, and just something I will say, just because we're getting it pretty soon at the time of this recording. We do have heroes as well, but I would say this is like a hit or miss, because half of these units can be really decent. Geneva Modified was okay. AGL Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Vegito was just #1 TR at the time. I think, wasn't Rosé like, wasn't he like 3 or 4? I think he was 3 or 4 at the time too. So you have the #1 and you have the #4 TUR on a banner that gives you guaranteed featured units for free. And on top of that, we have a lot of decent unfeatured units who had very decent easy A's as well. The only issue, and the reason why I say that this is very hit or miss, is just because of the fact that heroes units age pretty well, because anniversary is always 2 months after this, and they never really account for that. And on top of that, they always make it where these units are too heavily restricted. So be careful around heroes banners, is what I would say. Be careful. But anyways, hopefully this does help you guys, and you know, let you guys know how you're supposed to do this, and let me know what you guys think. Maybe I want to see what you guys think about, like, what makes you summon on a banner other than a Wooga new character, you know. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you as always, Will, for your member. Hope you guys have a great week. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.